Hi, I'm Scott Davis, and welcome to New World Birth. By accessing this presentation, you're inviting me to share this information regarding our passage through this challenging and yet very hopeful time we're currently living in. This is the Care and Feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of December 20th, 2011, which is one read in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, and we'll also be discussing the winter solstice, the Capricorn new moon, and Jupiter turning direct. There's also going to be an important message regarding the future of these videos immediately following this report. December 20th is one reed or corn, which carries the themes of growth and sustenance, journeying in new directions, photosynthesis, protectors of the home and family, the world tree energy that connects heaven and earth, peace, harmony, and order, strength in being flexible, the crusader or champion, and sharing with others. Quetzalcoatl, the god king feathered serpent, was prophesied to return in the year of one reed, and Quetzalcoatl is credited for replacing human sacrifice with flowers, songs, and meditation. The reed connects the light energy with the earth energy in an integration of a multidimensional existence. Since this is the one read report, I'm going to include a multi-dimensional technique that you can use later on in this video. As far as protecting family and home, if you have people representing a system threatening your home, there are two things you should tell them. First of all, if they believe that they're following orders or just doing their job, it's important that you tell them that you hold them personally responsible for their actions. Okay? And the second thing that they should be informed of is that the system that they are protecting will not protect them. I honestly believe that people who act with force when empowered by a system are disempowered in their personal lives. Anyway, this Trecena or 13-day period of this report is a time to be grateful for your family and home, so share your most precious home, which is your open and loving heart. Astrologically, the one read Trecena or 13-day period is marked by Jupiter at 0 degrees of Taurus as it's slowing down in its reverse motion. Then it's stopping and it begins moving forward again on December 25th. And when a planet appears to be stopped, it's said to be at the peak of its power. And Jupiter has been retrograde or appearing to move in reverse motion in Taurus since the end of August, which has had people reviewing missed opportunities from the past and has created financial uncertainty, which now brings deep restructuring efforts. In forward motion, Jupiter in Taurus is grounded and expansive in creating a better future. And I was thinking about the Roman Empire used to celebrate Jubilee every 50 years, which during which period all debt was forgiven. And perhaps that's an idea whose time has come. Jupiter will remain in Taurus until June 12th, 2012. Also during this report period, or just before this report period, Mercury turned direct and began this third stage on December 13th, and the third stage will last until January 1st, 2012. So this 13-day period is a time to implement a course correction that we became aware of from the information we gathered during the first stage, which was from November 5th to November 24th, and then the experiences we've had during the second stage from November 24th until December 13th. So, and after Jupiter turns direct on December 25th, we'll be free of retrograde planets. Everything will be moving direct until January 24th, when Mars appears to move in reverse. Okay, so Anyway, December 20th is one read, which is unity consciousness experienced through being grateful for family and home. And that day we have Venus moving into Aquarius and then being challenged by Jupiter and the Scorpio moon. This may be an emotionally difficult time to be in social situations, but with the sun being stimulated by Neptune, spiritual retreat would be favored. The 21st is 2 Jaguar, which is duality experience through being in nature, and with Venus being stimulated by Uranus, this brings the energy of new and also unusual social experiences. December 22nd is 3 Eagle, which is taking action to find a higher perspective as the sun moves into Capricorn for the solstice, and that's going to be the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. This is also the Yule, so this is a time of letting go of what is no longer serves us. And the sun is supported by Jupiter on that day, which brings expansion to our sense of purpose, and then challenged by Uranus, which brings disruption or insight, revolution or revelation, or any combination or all of the above. The 23rd is 4 Wisdom, which is stability found through reflection and meditation or introspection, with the sun stimulated by Chiron, the wounded healer, which illuminates those parts of ourselves and others that we need to forgive. On December 24th, we have 5 Earth, which is empowerment through being grateful to our Mother Earth. And this is also the date of the Capricorn new moon, merged with the Sun and Pluto, supported by Jupiter, stimulated by Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron, and challenged by Uranus. And new moons are times of new beginnings. And this one arrives on the heels of so much completion energy. This is a powerful day to visualize your future from a grounded yet expansive place of healing any limitations with spiritual insight. The 25th is 6 Flint, which is being in the flow through reflection and introspection, and with Jupiter turning direct and slowly beginning to move us forward toward a new, grounded, and optimistic future. December 26th is 7 Storm, which is reflections on the gifts of adversity, with the moon being challenged by Saturn and Jupiter. This is emotionally feeling limited and then later feeling expansive. And then Luna is stimulated by Uranus, which feels pleasant yet kind of restless. The 27th is 8 Sun, which is balance through honoring the wisdom of our ancestors, with the moon merged with Venus, which is social and cheerful, and then it's stimulated by Mercury, which increases the tempo of our social interactions. The 28th is 9 Crocodile, and that's patience while nurturing new beginnings. And on that day, we have the moon being supported by Saturn, which brings sober feelings, and then it's merged with Neptune, which increases our sensitivity. And then later in the day, it's in harmony with Jupiter, which brings feelings of well-being. The 29th is 10 Wind, which is manifestation through communication with the Sun conjunct Pluto, illuminating our releasing of old ruts and the dead wood to become empowered through birthing new changes that are authentic to the person we're awakening to be within ourselves. December 30th is 11 Night, which is resolution from contemplating the stars, and with the moon being challenged by Mercury and opposed by Mars, this brings up feelings of criticism in what's being communicated, and irritability. So this may be a day just to hang and lay low. The 31st, New Year's Eve, is 12 seed, which is understanding through being connected with others. With the moon, on that day is merged with Uranus, which brings impulsive and even rash actions as our emotions change unexpectedly, followed by a challenge from Pluto, which could bring compulsions to act in a way that is detrimental in the long run. And then on January 1st, 2012, New Year's Day, the last day of this report period, we have 13 Serpent, which is moving to the next level by being flexible. And on that day, we have Mercury being challenged by Mars. So be aware that people may be feeling irritable, so trying to tread a little bit more lightly in your communication. And 2012 is a 5-year in numerology. 2 and 1 and 2 is 5, which is the peak of a 9-year cycle that began in 2008. So the upcoming year will bring change and breakthrough to choices, events, and intentions that began in 2008. Given one reads connection with the integration of multidimensional existence and the protection of family and home, I want to share this teaching about collapsing pyramids that it comes about through working with the 8th dimension. And you'll find this process explained in more detail in Barbara Hand Clows' book, Alchemy of Nine Dimensions. And this is teaching that I was actually taught by Barbara Hand Clow and Jerry Clow about a year and a half ago. And when they taught this to us, they said go out and teach it to other people. So this technique will allow you to work directly with the 8th dimension keepers, which are called the Galactic Federation. But you should be aware that using this technique can totally alter your life. And although given some of the systemic erosion and the destruction of human rights currently being enacted here in the United States, but all over the world, I mean, this is global stuff I'm talking about. Our lives may be totally altered even if we do nothing. So it's very important, though, to be clear about your intentions and your willingness to embrace change when working with the 8th dimension. The last time I used this technique, my position was eliminated in a system that I felt was oppressive for myself and also oppressive for its customers and staff. So use this only if you need change related to a system that's compromising your life. If you're willing to have your life shift regardless of the consequences, then the following will help you collapse the pyramids that are limiting your power. First of all, you need a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. And you're going to need a pencil and paper to make notes or drawings as you go through this process. And you want to start by considering the parts of the problem you want to address in deep contemplation. So things to think about: who are the people? What are their roles? What are the conditions that affect the situation, such as budgets, banks, corporations, organizations, communities, governments, people's fear, and the history that has led to the present situation. Once you have an understanding of the whole system that is creating this dilemma in your life, then you go into a state of deep contemplation or meditation on the highest resolution without thinking of changing any person or anything or implementing any particular situation or solution. You want to consider what is going to be best for the situation to be resolved, to bring about meaningful change. And it's best to let your thoughts flow freely so that you're not being limited by your opinions without thinking about any specific solution. Once you can imagine and see change happening, then you just kind of sit with it, you breathe with it, and then you let it go. This technique gives each person an equal power, whether they're at the top of the pyramid or at the bottom. And if you have enough people at the bottom engage in this practice, then the power structure begins to break down and realities change. The guardians of the eighth dimension have gained direct access to us because more and more of us want to live in an ethical world. Well, no matter what you choose, take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or being with someone you love. Every day is a blessing, no matter what dramas beckon to distract us. And we're all out there giving the performance of a lifetime. So just take some time out to observe the play as well as act your part. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having human experiences. Anyway, I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of Care and Feeding of a New World Age will be on January 2nd for one transformation in the Tzolkin calendar. I'll also be talking about the Cancer full moon and Mercury moving into Capricorn and Venus moving into Pisces. As always, you can check us out on the Facebook page or the YouTube page. And I always invite you to email me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions about this information or you want to schedule a reading. And as always, I'm really blessed that you've connected with us on any level. Please share this with anybody you think would benefit from this information. And as I've said before, the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Okay, this is my message to you. First of all, thanks for listening and taking the time to connect with some of the changes that are going to be coming down, basic changes that I need to make to New World Birth in order to continue to provide this service in the future. I need to look at balancing income and expenses. And one thing to help make ends meet, I'm going to monetize the videos, which will mean that there'll be a short advertisement before the video can be viewed. And I'm also offering another thing to try and increase some income is I'm offering a special on readings. And the readings that I'm offering will look at your human design chart to help you understand how to use your individual strategy and authority in making life decisions based on your unique design. I will also discuss 3 months of astrological transits as they relate to your progressed astrological chart and your natal astrological chart. And for this special reading offer, you pay only what you can afford, and also based on the value you get out of the experience. So you don't have to pay anything up front. You simply have the experience. You decide whether it has any value for you, and what you can afford to pay. And I really would encourage you to pay what you can. I know we're all tight. I'm just doing this because I really need to continue to follow my passion, but I also need my passion to make sure that you know, things are met on the physical plane as well as all these other planes that we're talking about. To have a reading with me, you'll need to either be able to call me here in Maine in the United States, or I do have Skype, so we can use Skype for you to receive your reading. And then as a gift to you, I will email you a 20 to 30 page report, which will give you 3 months of detailed planetary transits as they relate to your birth chart and your stress chart for all paid readings. So please contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com to schedule a reading or to make a donation if you're able to do such a thing. Anyway, honestly, I really am blessed by you. Thank you for connecting with all of this. My heart is open to you. I'm sending you love and light every time you look at these videos. And so I just want to say thank you and namaste.